Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It's originally created for Wednesday, the 8th of March, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing this reading on a different date and it applies to a situation you might be dealing with, or feelings you're having, thoughts around something, a situation, a relationship, by all means utilize the reading. It is a broad spectrum reading for all signs, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there, some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel, what decks I'm currently working with in the video, and how to follow me on social media if you would like a private reading. You can reach me through my Facebook business page or through my Instagram. Know that I will never solicit you for a reading. So if anybody ever messages you saying they're me, it's not. And then, easy way to support the channel, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. Leave me a question or comment. I do read them all and appreciate all of them. And share the video out also. That greatly helps me too. Let other people know about my channel. So I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning energy. That is the reading that populates in the lower left-hand corner. That's the weekly, and that's like another layer that exists beneath these daily readings. So I kind of try and incorporate some of that into the daily. So if you hear me talking about cards that you don't presently see in this video, I'm referring back to that reading. And again, it's in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this, so you can check it out. All right, so let's get into these cards and see what they want us to know. We've also just gone through the Virgo full moon, so hopefully you guys were able to do some releasing, balancing, grounding, reorganization of our spaces, our lives, our feelings, our relationships. All of that would be Virgo full moon energy for sure. And I like that the Virgo full moon energy is happening in the middle of Pisces, because Virgo is the 6th sign, Pisces is the 12th, so that's very complementary. The other thing that's happening planetarily that's kind of a big deal is that Saturn just went into Pisces, and Saturn is the taskmaster. So Saturn is in Pisces right now, or has just gone into Pisces during the full moon. So there's a fair bit of like planetary stuff going on around us right now that could be affecting these energies that I'm looking at. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so let's see what the card is for the day. We have the 5 of Emotions. So this is the 5 of Cups. This is actually a really beautiful 5 of Cups, to be honest. The one thing that I don't see is the traditional imagery of, it's usually a man depicted being forlorn or hurt over, the loss of 3 cups, and he doesn't necessarily see that the opportunities still exist around him. He still has 2 cups behind him that are full. He's concentrating and looking solely at what is, wrong or what didn't work out, rather than the opportunities that might still be around him or available to him. What I'm getting from this card, though, is the way that she's looking at, like, those white things hanging from the top, to me look like icicles a bit, and she's giving me a little bit of 8 of Swords vibes, like being a little bit trapped in this. But I don't think that this is trapped. I'm getting this sense of nostalgia, and not in a bad way, right? We have the 7 of Cups underpinning this, so some of you might be feeling a little bit of romantic nostalgia or emotions around a situation or person or relationship that's making it confusing or hard for you to maybe move on. The 5 of Emotions or 5 of Cups would be about kind of sitting in that for a little bit, processing it, letting it balance out in a way, making better sense of it. 5s are always transitory, so this is not going to last forever. I don't get if that feeling You know, like in the Eight of Swords, she's sort of trapped and blindfolded. This woman doesn't feel trapped. I feel like we're choosing to do this emotional inventory right now, and we might need to be doing so that we can make a clear decision. The midweek card, right, which would be also starting to take effect, if not already, is the Fool. The Fool is a new chapter, a new journey, a big choice to move in a new, unexpected, or unplanned out direction, right? And I think that this Five of Emotions, or this Five of Cups, is indicating to us that as we clean up our emotional state or come to terms with the places where maybe things haven't worked out as we've expected, heals us enough or gives us that like sort of opportunity to like change our relationship to how we perceive a situation so that we can move into that Fool's energy, so that we can turn over that new chapter and step forward in excitement, leaving behind any sort of sadness, regret, even maybe depression for some of you. I get this feeling that this is self-induced. Five of Cups isn't necessarily always a self-induced card. I feel like she's chosen to put herself, I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I feel like she has chosen to put herself in this space. So if we find ourselves wanting to be left alone today or wanting to be in a space of emotional reflection, I think that's what this woman is doing, is she's kind of like taking a last minute inventory or review of her emotions and where she's at so that she can firmly move towards something new, something more in alignment to her, something more exciting, right? So I don't think that this is necessarily as sad or as depressed as the normal Five of Pentacles, or not Five of Cups is. I feel like this is actually us making this choice to do this work, to sit with these emotions, to no longer run from them, and to make sense of them, or I don't know if conquer is the right word, but we gain some sort of mastery over them, or at least a better understanding over them, so that we don't allow the more limiting emotions like fear, sadness, worry dictate to us how we make our decisions in moving forward on new paths through that Fool card. Let's go to the Miracles Now card. I love it. Peace is in my pulse. That's this sort of inventory I feel like she's doing. I feel like she is kind of spending time alone in her emotions to kind of make sense, to feel the sadness so that she can then move on to this place of peace, to this higher, better, either pursuit, relationship, situation, whatever it is. I get this feeling that because we're choosing to do this more, I don't know if it's painful as much as it's just emotional, right? But we're making this choice to kind of honor those emotions and acknowledge them, potentially make sense of them, or at least at the very least become comfortable and understand them enough so that we can move forward towards this peace. Ultimately, our peace is within us and we can give it to ourselves at any point in time. And I think that's the purpose of this Five of Emotions, is to kind of sit in our feels a little bit and make sense of it. This card is also giving me a little bit of Four of Swords vibes, where you go inward and you sit with the feelings and shut out the outside voices or opinions and find the answers within yourself. And ultimately that answer is to attain that peace. Remember, the grounding stone for this week is that word clarity. So I think in this Five of Emotions, she is seeking an emotional clarity by sitting with herself in maybe some situations of the past that have maybe caused her sadness or disrupted her peace. But it's like, in doing so, she's putting herself back onto this path towards her own inner peace, her own inner well-being, okay? Let's go to the clarifiers. First, we have the Ten of Wands. So that would be the releasing of a burden. Wands is the element of fire and spirit. And I think that's, like I was saying, this Five of Emotions, or this Five of Cups, is about her sitting with the struggle. The Ten of Wands would indicate being very aware of how hard we've worked, the work that we've put in, the value of that work, and we're like now reaching a completion around giving to situations that maybe don't give back to us in the same way that we want. We have the Nine of Swords. This can be grief, anxiety, fear, sadness, worry, sleepless nights. And then let's look at the last one really quick. We have the Nine of Cups. We're going to be okay. I like that we have two nines. Nines are about personal completions. Whatever sort of fretting we've been doing, whatever sort of like, the Ten of Wands can be about trying to push towards something that maybe just isn't possible, or that we've been pushing so hard towards achieving it. We're not really getting there and we don't understand why, and we might be sacrificing some of our peace for that. The Nine of Cups is about finding that emotional centeredness, awareness, well-being, independence within this situation. But we may have to sit with some of the more negative or downside emotions that we've experienced in the past through situations, so that we can understand exactly what we have, the work we put in, the gift that we are, or the gift that we give when we are in relationship to a person, a situation, an area in our life. Ultimately, it's leading us to this place of contentment, personal contentment with who we are, what we are, and what, our value or our worth. The grounding stone for the day is on carnelian, which is the root chakra. It's prosperity. So, what brings us peace? What brings us prosperity? What's in alignment with our own highest good? How do situations make us feel? Do they bring us anguish and fear? Do they feel like a struggle? If so, then it might be time to really look at those emotions and start to shift towards finding that inner peace and that prosperity from within. Right? The outside situation or relationship isn't necessarily going to give it to us. The Nine of Cups almost indicates that we already have it within ourselves. We might just have been working so hard and worrying so much that we've been sidetracked by the awareness that we have everything that we need, that we are prosperous, that even in the face of adversity, we're being taught something or learning something about whether it's our own strength, our own emotional well-being, what we give to a relationship. All of those sort of things could be coming to the forefront, but all of those things should feel like gifts to you rather than burdens. And at this, leading up to this point, they may have felt like a burden or have brought on a lot of worry, but that worry is not permanent, nor will it stay with us forever. Focusing on our own prosperity and our own peace are going to be key today as we work through these emotions, through these fears or worries, and move ourselves onward to something bigger and better through that Fool card. That is your forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.